Exiled from her own kingdom, Cleopatra had every reason to disappear. She had lost her throne, her palace, her power, and yet, she refused to accept defeat. Because Cleopatra was not planning an escape, she was planning a return. And to reclaim Egypt, she needed something stronger than an army. She needed Rome. At the center of Rome stood one man, a general whose name carried the weight of an empire. Julius Caesar. When Caesar arrived in Egypt, Cleopatra saw her opening. But there was one problem. She could not simply walk into the palace. Her enemies were everywhere, watching, waiting, ready to kill her before she ever reached him. So Cleopatra made a decision so bold, history still talks about it. Under the cover of night, she had herself smuggled into Caesar's chambers. Hidden inside a rolled carpet. Imagine the moment, Caesar expecting another political meeting. And instead, a queen unfolding before him. Not afraid, not desperate, not begging for mercy. She came offering something far more dangerous. An alliance. And Caesar listened, not because of her beauty. That is the version history loves to repeat. But beauty does not move men like Caesar. Power does. Intelligence does. Courage does. And Cleopatra had all three. What happened next changed everything. With Caesar at her side, Cleopatra moved quickly. Egypt erupted into war. Her brother, Ptolemy XIII, fought desperately to keep the throne. But this time, Cleopatra had Rome behind her. And Rome rarely lost. Soon, the fighting ended. Her enemies fell, and Cleopatra reclaimed what had been taken from her. Her throne, her crown, her kingdom. But somewhere between politics and survival, something shifted. The alliance became personal. Cleopatra and Caesar became more than allies. And before long, she gave birth to a son. Caesarion. To the world, he was simply a child. To Cleopatra, he was proof. Proof that her bloodline might survive. Proof that Egypt might remain powerful. Proof that her gamble had worked. For a brief moment, everything seemed perfect. She had her throne. She had Caesar. She had a future. But power never rests quietly. Across the sea, in Rome, shadows were already gathering. Whispers filled the Senate. Eyes watched Caesar. Hands prepared for betrayal. And soon, the most powerful man in the world would fall, leaving Cleopatra vulnerable once again. But history was not finished with her. Because another Roman was about to step into her story. And this next chapter would become even more dangerous. Follow Ancient Gossip for Part 3.